This is my Philodendron melanochrysum. It has been one of my very first plants that I purchased 5 years ago. Let's talk about the origin of the plant first. It's endemic to the wet Andean foothills in Colombia. It is a tropical area and it's extremely biodiverse. And looking at the climate, we can see that it is just consistently warm in that area. And that's not the only thing that's consistent. It is also consistently humid and it consistently has high amounts of rainfall. It is an epiphyte, aka a climber. It likes to climb up a moss pole. In my house, by nature it would climb up trees. The petioles are round and smooth. They can get quite longish, but compared to other philodendron, it actually stays quite compact. I personally provide this plant with just artificial light. It is growing in front of my mother plant spectrum grow lights. The grow lights are on for 14 hours a day. Plants also need darkness. The higher the humidity, the better for this plant, because if we're thinking back to where it is actually endemic to, in the rainforests of Colombia, with constant rainfall and with constant high humidity, then, ideally we're just trying to replicate those conditions to really get the best out of this plant. But I understand that that's really hard to achieve in an indoor environment. When it comes to temperatures, let's also take inspiration from its natural environment in the first place. It does not like it cold. I would avoid anything under 20 degrees Celsius. Hang on, I did the conversion, which is 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, with warm and humid conditions, always ensure to keep airflow up, because that prevents any sort of fungal issues, not just on the leaves themselves, if you have water droplets sitting on them, for example, but also prevents mold forming on the moss pollen itself. For the plant to grow roots into the pole, I'm making an effort to consistently keep the moss pole moist. I do not ever let it dry out. It is actually not a whole lot of work. I just take a water bottle and I flip it upside down. My main tip is to go for high frequency of watering, but with low volume of water. Now, the pot in itself is a very chunky aeroid mix, which further prevents the plant from sitting in too much water. All I need to do is, if I watered with a lot of volume of water, I'm going to check the pot to see if any excess water has accumulated in there and empty that out. Of course, every plant needs a little bit of food as well. The entire time I've had this plant, I have been feeding it my Growth Technology Australia foliage focus. I usually do a week application of the nutrients with every watering.